plenty of sparks at MetLife this weekend as the Giants rolled past the Jets 31-12. Rookie quarterback Jaxson Dart turned heads with a TD through the air and another on the ground while the Jets stuck to a run-first approach but struggled to move the ball. A preseason matchup that raised just as many questions as it answered. And joining me now is a woman who knows sports a lot better than me, Danielle McCartan, who's a radio host for WFAN. Danielle, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Buona mattina, Ken Rosato.
Buona mattina lei anche. You know, it's funny. I know about that much about sports, but this gives me my opportunity to sound like I can impress you with stuff that was written by Gerald, our executive producer. So I hope I sounded convincing because it was all from script. But you are the pro at this, and it's awesome to have you on. Listen, I have to ask you, how impressive would you say was Jaxson Dart's preseason debut? Are we looking at some magic that we're going to have this season?
I wouldn't say this season, but it was better than expected. I mean, he even orchestrated sustained drives that ended in scoring more often than not, which is crazy for the Giants, right? He got rid of the ball quickly, which means he was decisive. That little sidearm throw on that standalone play Saturday night had shades of Patrick Mahomes. And the pace of the offense with him is great. They rarely huddle up, which means you can get mismatches on defensive personnel. So I think better than expected for Jaxson Dart. I just don't want to see him under center as a starter this season.
Yeah. My 94-and-a-half-year-old father, by the way, says he tells me he's going to live to be 110 because he says it's only when the Giants become a great team that he will finally say, okay, take me. So he keeps living and saying every year they disappoint, whatever. Should Russell Wilson be looking over his shoulder after Dart's performance?
No, I don't think so. I mean, and I don't think he's doing that either. I mean, when camera flashed to him every time on the sideline during this Jets Giants game, he was helping his other quarterback. So I mean, I could see like, if I was looking over my shoulder, I wouldn't be so apt to help the guys behind me. I might go for Dart as the backup, only for the reason that the second string quarterback, gets more reps in practice than a third string quarterback, which he's projected to be. Also, in my mind, Jameis Winston hasn't really done enough to earn and take that backup job. The offense doesn't look sharp. I mean, the fumble on the first snap of the night against the Jets, not a good look. But Dart's in a good situation. Joe Shane put him in a good situation. So I don't think there's a need to rush him onto the field as the starter just yet because he can learn behind a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Russell Wilson.
And would you say the Jets lean a little too heavily on the run game?
Oh my God. I look, I know they're trying to develop an identity, of course, like, okay, ground and pound, right? But as we're watching that game, I was waiting for them to throw the ball further than 5 yards. It's like wide receiver screen, 10 handoffs in a row, handing it off on 3rd and 8. I mean, there was a point, Ken, where there were 10 straight runs and then an incomplete slant pattern to Garrett Wilson. I just wish the Jets can open up the offense before week 1. This is unbelievable, really. Can Justin Fields even throw the ball? I think that's still a legitimate question, going into week 3 of the preseason.
Just unbelievable when you consider how much money there is in this sport, the billions of dollars that these teams are valued at, and they just can't get it together season after season. What would you say in this case? What stood out most from the Giants and Jets' depth on both sides of the ball? What do they have and what are they lacking?
Well, the thing that the Jets were, showcasing most was that running game. And they do have a three-head. They had Brees Hall, Braylon Allen, and now Justin Fields. And that's a different look than the Aaron Rodgers type offense. So there is depth there. I just want to see him throw the ball for once. And then the Giants offensive line, I mean, only 1 sack through 2 games. I mean, Coach Chris Snee is really working his magic with that unit, so to speak. And that, I think, has stood out to me that this offensive line for the Giants, which is projected to be one of the worst in the league this season, all of a sudden looks formidable. And all of a sudden is allowing guys like Jaxson Dart and Russell Wilson to stand tall in the pocket and deliver the ball. So that, to me, I think is the most surprising part of this entire preseason, for both teams, is that the Giants' offensive line and the depth behind it looks pretty good.
We'll see what happens. What would you say the roster decisions could be for this game to have some impact before week 1 for both teams?
Yeah, for the Jets, I didn't see it. What I was looking for in this game was just a wide receiver two to step up because everybody knows Garrett Wilson's going to be doubled up this season. It's no secret. That's the game plan. So who is going to be the two to his one? So that that guy can start to draw some attention from the defense. Like, if there isn't a guy that could step it up, I mean, it's going to be a very long season for Garrett Wilson and the Jets. So I saw Quentin Skinner, 48 yards receiving in this game. That's encouraging. I don't know how many exactly came from Justin Fields, probably not many or not at all. But Quentin Skinner maybe has stepped up into that role. But for the Giants, I know, Ken, I know you were watching this. Rookie free agent Bo Collins out of Notre Dame. That 80-yard, was it 80-yard pass catch? A bomb by Russell Wilson. I mean, he didn't get into the end zone. Singletary ended up punching it in. But as Phil Simms pointed out on the broadcast, which I love hearing him on that broadcast, Collins had a key block to spring Singletary into the end zone. So this was the Bo Collins coming out game. Shades of Victor Cruz, even undrafted free agent out of Patterson. So yeah, I mean, Bo Collins, I think, made a legitimate shot, a case to make the Giants this weekend.
What would you say if we expand that out to some of the other teams out there right now? Who's looking on fire I mean, we're not even, we can't even say it's early yet. It's pre-early, but who do you think has some fire for this coming season?
I mean, the Eagles are the team to knock off, right? And unfortunately for the Giants, they reside in their own division. So the Eagles, I would say, the Chiefs, as long as Mahomes and Reed and Kelsey are there. I like the Lions this year a lot. They got pretty far without Aiden Hutchinson on their defensive line in the playoffs. So those are kind of the three teams I'm looking at. Um, the Bills, of course, the New York Buffalo Bills. I get that too. So those are probably my top four: the Bills, the Chiefs out of the AFC, and then the Eagles and the Lions out of the NFC.
And of course, everybody loves the Eagles fans, tongue in cheek. So they're a unique lot, let's just say that. And they comprise the southern half of the state and a lot of people in New York too. So we'll see what happens. All right, we love when you come on. WFAN radio host Danielle McCartan, thank you for getting up with us this morning and for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you on.
You got it, Ken. Thanks. I appreciate it. Grazie
Have a
mille.
great Grazie mille. Oh my God, I love it. Your Italian is awesome. Are you part Italian?
Yeah, during the week I teach Italian, so
Io non lo sapevo. Dobbiamo parlare solamente in italiano se lo vuoi.
va
Perfetto.
bene.
Oh, I
Profitto.
love it. I didn't know that. That's excellent. All right, then you come on every day if you want. That's awesome.
All
All right,
right.
have a great day, Daniel. Thank you again.
All right.
8:29. Oh, right after my own heart. I love it.